Hey guys, welcome back to Minecraft the Shipwreck. Today we'll be reading chapter 36, which is titled Jake. Starts on page 302 and goes to page 311. If you guys have enjoyed this novel so far and want to hear more of Minecraft the Shipwreck, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, chapter 36. Did you know that Isabella is Miss Jenkins' daughter? Jake asked Dad over dinner. He'd been right back home after she caught him watching her from the bushes, her sharp eyes following her like a hawk. There was no way he could go back to the center with her watching him like that, especially after they were supposed to be done. Huh? Oh, yeah. It's been a major pain for this whole project, since she doesn't want anything to do with her mom. Dad says, Why? Dad sighs and looks at his plate. Something to do with Ellen not really being around when she was a kid. Jake pokes at his food, twirling spaghetti onto his fork until he can't get any more wrapped around the utensil. The community center and these apartments. Did Isabel grow up here? Why would she want to change everything? Dad shrugs. Bad memories, I guess. She wants to turn it into something new, something better. Jake thinks about the photo of the girl in the pictures, looking up at her parents, and wonders what could have happened. Did you know the community center used to have all these programs and stuff? I found lots of old photos and articles while cleaning it out, Jake says. There were like beach cleanups and camping trips, and kids were there all the time. Dad nods. Yeah, it sounds like it was great back in the heyday, back in Seattle, when Isabella first hired me as a project manager for this complex. We talked a bit about the design, and she asked me for any input given my experience. One of the first designs I submitted had a place for a center like that, but Isabella hated it immediately. I think she resented the fact that her mother spent more time with those other kids than she did with her, but I don't know the whole full story. He gives his spaghetti bolognese a sadder look than it deserves. Look, you know what I'm trying. You know I'm trying my best, right? I know, Dad. Jake looks down at his plate. At the beginning of the summer, I said a lot of things about spending time together and everything. I know we weren't able to go to that Dodgers game, like I said, or go to the beach, but I've been really busy. I know that is probably just sounds like an excuse to you, but I'm serious. I know after your mom passed away, I wasn't great. Dad gulps, his chin wobbling. I was just running away. Anytime it would feel too close to what we used to have, it would scare me. Jake's always thought Dad was larger than life, maybe because he hung out with all those tough people who built things and worked hard making cool stuff. He's always been in charge, an intimidating man who gets his way, one who always has an answer. He now looks nervous and small, the way he hunches his shoulders and looks up at Jake. I get it, Jake says. I think I was like that too. New schools, new people. I'd always start out wanting to talk to people and trying to make friends, but didn't bother keeping it up because I knew we would move again. I didn't want to get attached to anyone, so I didn't really give anyone a chance. I'm so proud of you, Dad says. The way you jumped into this service project and making friends with Emily and Tank. They're good kids, like you're a good kid. Jake doesn't feel like a good kid. He feels terrible. It was his fault Emily and Tank left. They didn't like the plans. He shouldn't have been so pushy about them, and now the center is going to be destroyed, and they're never going to be able to finish the game. His eyes blur with what defiantly aren't hot tears. Jake jabs at his plate with his fork and twirls a gigantic mass of noodles before shoving them into his mouth. The spaghetti sticks to the roof of his mouth, and Jake thinks about how Dad used to just order takeout for him or leave him money to fend for himself. But tonight, he watched a dozen YouTube videos to figure out how to make the sauce from scratch and then asked Jake to make the noodles with him. It had been fun and totally new and different, and Jake doesn't know what to do with his dad, who tries. Now they're going to stay in this place, and Jake's ruined it all with his friends. He takes another bite and just chews and nods so he doesn't have to talk. You know you can talk to me anytime, okay? Doesn't matter. I know I might not understand everything, but I sure am gonna try. Jake swallows. Dad, I think I messed up. The story tumbles out in bits and pieces, finding the server, playing with Emily and Tank, becoming friends, or so Jake had thought, and then their fight that morning. Jake's voice wobbles. You can ground me. I know that the service project was supposed to be a punishment, and instead we've just been playing this game. Dad chuckles. I think you're not giving yourself enough credit. It sounds like you and your friends got all the work done to organize things for Ellen, and you also discovered a great game. Right, Jake sighs. But now there's no point. Everyone hates me. And there's no way we can save the Mermaid Kingdom before the whole place vanishes completely. Sometimes people say things they don't mean, Dad says. I think your friends will understand. Just apologize to them and be honest and tell them exactly what you told me. It can't just be that simple, can it? Jake knocks on Tank's door, his heart pounding nervously. He paces back and forth, the apology thick in the back of his throat. The door opens and Vivian looks curiously up at him. Jake looks at the ground, dragging his shoe awkwardly. Hey, is Tank home? Viv shakes her head, hanging out with Shark, I think. Oh, want me to tell him you stopped by? I'll text him. Jake doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to apologize over text message. I'll just come back later. He leaves the west tower and cuts through the courtyard to the north tower, bounding up the stairwell and down the hall toward Emily's apartment. He knocks and waits, wondering if she's spending time with her other friends, too. Everyone has someone they'd rather be with than you, he thinks glumly. The door opens and Emily's older sister, Carmen, looks down at him with a bored glance. Hello? Oh, it's you, she says. Emily isn't home. Do you know when she'll be back? Jake asked nervously. He could text her, but he feels like this is important to do in person. No idea, bye. She rolls her eyes and shuts the door, leaving Jake to his thoughts. He walks toward the stairwell when a light on the community center catches his eye. Jake races downstairs and runs across the courtyard, his heart skipping as he slips between the crack in the chain link fence and ducks under the caution tape. He throws open the door to the computer lab. It's empty, but one of the computers is on. Jake frowns, looking around. Hello? Is anyone here? Emily? Tank? He sits down. The Minecraft window is open, like someone had been playing recently. Jake eagerly logs in when he sees the notification on the loading screen that one player is already in the world. Maybe Emily and Tank weren't ready to let this go. The fact that they came back here must mean something, right? He spawns on the strip of sand inside the cavern underneath the castle. He looks at the other two beds with a pang of sadness, thinking about his friends and how much they've gone through together to solve this. There's no one around the little area, but they could be somewhere else in the world. The recent chat log doesn't have anything except the last time the three of them logged out together, except for one new line that makes Jake's heart skip. The Crest Wizard has joined the game. Jake looks around. The wizard hasn't shown up since the first time he attacked them, but they've been playing this game, following his clues. Why appear now? MC Explorer Jake, hello. Wizard. MC Explorer Jake, we've been fighting the Leviathan. Is there any way to defeat it? The Crest Wizard, of course there is. MC Explorer Jake, is there one riddle we're missing? What do we need to do? There's no answer. Jake dives down toward the ocean monument and follows the pathway. He has to see the Leviathan one more time to see if there's any clues he's missed. If the wizard is here, surely it's to help them. MC Explorer Jake, you built that shortcut through the nether. You've helped us before. Is that why you're here now? Jake opens the door at the end of the pathway. Outside, standing just before the stretch of the sandy field, is the wizard, staring out toward the Mermaid Kingdom. MC Explorer Jake, hey, are you here to play with us? Let me get my friends. The Crest Wizard, there is no point. I made this game so many years ago, but I don't remember how to defeat this creature I created. MC Explorer Jake, you don't have notes or anything? The Crest Wizard, I have gotten rid of so many things that remind me of my past. I'm sorry. Jake stares at the avatar. It's just a collection of pixels, but the wizard seems to be lost in thought, staring off into the distance. MC Explorer Jake, but you've helped us before. The Crest Wizard, do you want to see the end? I can just bring you there. Just teleport into the kingdom? There's no victory. Jake wants to be part of the story, to save the merfolk from this monster. MC Explorer Jake, no way, that would just defeat the purpose of playing the game. MC Explorer Jake, I just feel like we're missing something. The Crest Wizard, I don't remember where it is or how to get it. I could just look through the code, but that would take ages. And the renovation is beginning tomorrow, and they're ripping out the landlines. There's no point. The wizard steps forward, and the sequence happens exactly how Jake has seen it happen so many times before. The crack opens and the Leviathan rises. A single blast of power emits from its mouth, catching the wizard before an attack can ever even be made. The Crest Wizard was slain by Leviathan. Jake stares. He wasn't sure what he'd expected, but that certainly wasn't it. Is the wizard just giving up? The Crest Wizard has joined the game. The Crest Wizard, thank you for the adventure. The Crest Wizard has left the game. The Leviathan lunges at him, eyes glowing bright red. Jake disconnects before it reaches him, and then sits back against his chair in a defeated slump. The Minecraft opening screen lingers, waiting for his choices on how he wants to play. The evocative music seems to mock him now. The door flies open. There you are, Emily says, wide-eyed and gasping for breath, holding a notebook in her hands. Why weren't you home? You went to my apartment? I went to your apartment. Jake blinks at her. Your sister said you weren't home. Emily approaches him, her eyes lit up with excitement as she waves the book in the air. I found something. She falters, hesitating, as she stops a few steps away. They look at each other for a long moment, and Jake takes a deep breath. His dad's words echo in his head, and he thinks about Ellen and her daughter and how they can't even talk to each other. He doesn't want to have regrets like that. He doesn't want to miss out on having friends. I'm sorry, Jake says. I'm sorry, Emily blurts out at the same time. They take a second to laugh, and then laugh again when they both make gestures for the other to continue. It's a little awkward, but Jake's glad to see her smile a little. I didn't mean what I said, Jake says. I think your gamer style is awesome, Emily. It's way different than what I'm used to, but it works for you. I think your style is cool too, Emily says. She looks at her feet nervously and then back at Jake. I really like hanging out with you and Tank, but Patty showed up and I was so frustrated with the Leviathan and the game ending. Jake nods. I get it, and I know I'm a loser. You don't have to hang out with me at school if you don't want to. Emily shakes her head. You know what? I'm going to figure this out like you said. It's not like there's a limited number of slots for friends, right? Right, Jake says. Friends? He puts his hand out to Emily for a fist bump, and she knocks knuckles with him, smiling. He grins back, thinking about the first time all three of them had played together. They fit together like clockwork, solving the riddles, each of them bringing a different strength. Emily's fighting skills, Tank's patient, problem solving. I gotta talk to Tank, Jake says. He probably hates me. Let's go find him, Emily says, especially since I think we can solve the puzzle. She flips open the notebook she's holding, the crayon drawings of the mermaid story they found a while ago. This look familiar? Emily flips open to a page featuring the Leviathan. A single mermaid stands in front of it, holding a gleaming golden trident. Jake gasps. That's it! The secret weapon! Jake can't help jumping up and down with excitement. He rises up in his chest, and he feels recharged. They can still do this. that wraps up chapter 35. I hope that you guys enjoyed. And if you did, stay tuned and hit that like button. And I will see you next time.